Singapore, a city-state younger than your parents, a country smaller than most of the major cities of the world, a nation that went through war and colonialism with no natural resources, and yet in a few short decades, she has built a reputation that far precedes her. Today, Singapore regularly hosts some of the most powerful and influential people in the world. And to all of them, regardless of their number of followers or political alignment, it's always the same pitch. When you come to Singapore, you have to try the food. In this new year, in this new series, we will be following 10 notable public figures to check out what they chose to eat in Singapore during their stay here. Each episode will feature 3 establishments, and the 5 best places will make it into the most important video of this channel, Top 5 Places to Eat in Singapore 2025. And today, we are starting with the late legendary chef, award-winning author, journalist, travel writer, and TV host, or quite simply, the GOAT of the foodie world, Anthony Bourdain. I think about Anthony Bourdain at least once a week, for reasons that are way too heavy for the first 20 seconds of a YouTube video. Maybe if we get to know each other better by the end of the day, I'll tell you. Today we are visiting 3 places that Bourdain dined at in his hit series Parts Unknown. Like the other people that we'll be trailing in this series, Bourdain dined at many places in Singapore, but we'll be limiting each episode to 3 places so that I can keep up with the weekly upload schedule. We start here at Tekka Centre, where we will be having 545 Whampoa Prawn Noodles. Helmed by a 3rd generation hawker, 545 Whampoa Prawn Noodles is one of the biggest names in the local prawn noodle scene. Bourdain had lunch here with local legend KFC Toh, so it's already kind of a spoiler that it's gonna be good. Let's get it, guys. 吃的黄面干，加猪肉片和猪油渣。你要辣椒甜吗？都要，对，谢谢。I'm like 95% sure it's gonna be good. Firstly, 1 item on the menu, 1 price. Just like Sungai Road Laksa, this is like the S tier sign of good food. And then just the color of the soup and the noodles, insane. The noodles also cook really well. You can kind of feel the wiggle just by using the chopsticks. Anyway. I haven't even touched the soup and I'm almost done with the noodles. Wait, slow down. Oh. Maybe I should have started a prawn noodle series instead. The oil is insane. It's like there's a combination of shallot oil, lard, prawn oil, and sambal. I cannot really decipher where the flavors come from, whether it comes from the oil or the ingredients itself, but what I do know is that it's really delicious. It tastes like something that top chefs will make for themselves. Normally, 油泼面 or 猪杂面 is already very nice, but this goes a level above that. Just the noodles, remove everything else. I can eat 3 plates, I think. And I'm so glad that I went with the extra fried shallots and lard. The mini crackles when slurping the noodles that offer little pops of flavor is insane. I say all of this and I haven't gotten to the heart of prawn noodles, which is the broth, and this was honestly meticulously made. You can taste that the prawn flavor is very solid. And I want to say that I think they're using haisia or wild caught prawns, because not just the flavor of the soup, the texture of the prawns in the noodles is also very good, which leads to the one and only miss. I don't like half prawns. Thankfully, they're using better prawns. So even if they cut it into half, right, the texture is still very good. But seeing half prawns in a bowl of noodles makes me think that they are lying to me. Because that's the basis of it, a lie. You're trying to make it seem like there's more prawns than there really is. And because there's a lie, I will start searching for other lies, like where else are you lying to me? But in this bowl, everything else is the truth. And the truth is getting rarer in today's hawker scene. Even now looking at the bowl, right, you see how well balanced this is? There is barely any puddling. It's like just the right amount of oil is added. The best imaginable start to the series. Let's move on to the next place. Next up, we are visiting Nasi Padang Sab Mananti, where Bourdain ate with local personality Najib Ali. This is a Nasi Padang establishment that has been around since the 1920s, 100 years ago. And Sab Mananti means to wait patiently. But why would one need to wait patiently for Nasi Padang? It's all cooked. I want to say let's find out, but I really hope I don't. Hi, I got Lontong. Lontong. One lontong and one mee siam. Makan. Thank you. We are now at Nasi Padang Sab Mananti. I really want to order Nasi Padang since it's a Nasi Padang place, but Bourdain had Mee Siam and Lontong. We start with the Mee Siam, a Penang Nights adaptation of what Thai food tastes like, and then brought to the shores of Singapore. So you can guess that this was adapted after Tom Yum, but made with a rempa. Let's give this a go. Before I talk about the Mee Siam, let's move on to the Lontong first. Well, we got a good amount of carrot stick on top, I think. Lontong actually refers to the rice cake itself. And like many things in Indo-Malay cooking, right, they are all cousins of each other. There are like, I think 6-7 variants at least of the rice cake, and more variants of the actual dish Lontong. It just happens that in Singapore, we serve Lontong with sayur lodeh, which is a vegetable curry. Anyway. Wow. Unlike a donut shop, on this channel, we don't glaze. The Mee Siam is very ordinary. It is the type of food that a food vlogger like me is most scared of. It is so unremarkable, both in the hits and misses. There is nothing wrong with it. You can still taste the Assam, you can still taste the tau gio. The spiciness, the sourness, the bihun, the texture is okay. But at the same time, there is nothing really much to comment about. It just tastes like Mee Siam. I don't want to waste the next 200 words telling you how Mee Siam tastes. So let's move on to Lontong. The Lontong on the other hand is much better. The Lontong itself, the texture and the fragrance is very good. It's like glutinous with that punch of coconut, but only when it's deep into the sayur lodeh, it really explodes. You get a stronger, more forward taste of with the curry stick. You get the spiciness and the layers of the sambal. And when it's mixed unevenly like this, you can see like the colors are almost like an yin and yang formation. That unevenness makes the different flavors pop even more. And all of this is underlined by that subtle sweetness of cabbage. It is flavorful, creamy, yet light at the same time. Very decent. Okay, let's move on to the last place. And for the last spot of the day, we are visiting Guao Soon, the oldest Peranakan restaurant in Singapore. Yes lah, Peranakan food. I love Peranakan cuisine. Or rather, Peranakan cuisine loves me. To the uninitiated, Peranakan dishes taste like they are made with love. But if you have spent some time on this channel, you know that love in food is tangible. Peranakan recipes are generally very effortful and tedious. All of its more iconic dishes like Ayam Buah Keluak, bakwan, babi pongteh are all super time consuming. And love is about putting in the time. Hello. Yeah. We are now at Guao Soon, and I really wanted to have the braised duck that Bourdain had, but I think they don't sell it anymore. So I replaced it with arguably the greatest Peranakan dish of all time, Ayam Buah Keluak. The Malacca trip wasn't too long ago, so the bar is pretty up there still, I think. First I want to try just the Ayam Buah Keluak with the rice. Oh, we got butterfly pea rice too. So it has this really nice blue color. Anyway. Ayam Buah Keluak is the goat. But we don't get much chicken. We only get 3 pieces. And a lot of bone too. And finally, to the gold mine itself, the Buah Keluak. Where's my ice cream stick? The Buah Keluak is fake. They empty out the shell of the nut and then restuffed it with a combination of the nut and some sort of meat, I think. It tastes like the inside of a dumpling, like a meatball. It's still nice, it still does taste of Buah Keluak, but it is nowhere near the intensity that you would expect of digging an actual Buah Keluak. No wonder they didn't give ice cream sticks, because you don't really have to dig it. The whole piece comes out as one. Man, as a fan of the dish, I cannot really hide my disappointment. I really wanted to eat the Buah Keluak. Those of you who have eaten before, you know like there's a reason why they call it the truffle of the East. That strong, pungent, addictive taste, nothing like it. Otherwise, the rest of the dish is actually really nice. The taste is dictated by the gravy, and all the chicken has to do is to be tender, and it's a home run already. I will say that this gravy is stronger on the tamarind and less of the tausi, which I like better, but nevertheless, still really good. And then next, Ikan Assam Pedas. Ikan means fish, Pedas means spicy, Assam means tamarind to some capacity. And they already cut the fish out so that it's quite easy to get it. So, let's get a piece. Ooh. What a sauce! I didn't know Assam Pedas, or maybe just Assam in general, the sauce can be so complex. Yes, of course it's sweet and sour, but it's like fruity and you can actually taste the fruit. It's almost like drinking spiced pineapple and tomato juice. Which leads to the next part. The lemongrass and the ginger are so balanced, yet so potent. At some parts of the fish, like near the gills and the stomach, where it is smellier, you can really feel the sauce suppressing that scent. It's almost like that scene in Harry Potter where Voldemort duels Dumbledore. You can sort of taste that fishy scent come up and then get pressed down. I'm caught off guard. I didn't know Assam sauce had such levels to it. I always thought like it's kind of one and the same. The doneness of the fish is also on point. Tender but not chalky. Probably one of the better sweet and sour fishes that I've had in a long while. Okay, time for dessert. My personal opinion when it comes to Chendol is that there really is nothing much to it. It kind of starts and ends with good ingredients, specifically gula melaka. So, oh, very decent fragrance, the palm sugar and the coconut, but too sweet. Obviously, sweetness is a personal preference. So I would say that this is about bubble tea 75 to 80% sweet. And then another bit is that it's too cold. I don't know whether if you all can tell, but I'm using like quite a bit of strength here. I can't cut the ice. I kind of have to keep scraping. And even as I eat the scraped off parts, right, it's like crunchy and sandy. I think the ice should have been a bit finer. It kind of feels like this was pre-shaved and then made into a ball and then refroze again. So there are like extra bits of ice forming around. Okay, all done here. I need to pay and then I'll see you guys at the cafe. We are now at Staples Food Cafe and I got myself a hot black coffee. Anyway, recap. We start from the top. If this was a prawn noodle series, I would be saying that 545 feels like top 3, even if it's the first episode of the series. The oil just goes crazy hard, and even if you're more orthodox and you want to go for the soup version, they do that really well as well. And I got a weird suspicion, right, that their prawn noodles are actually nerfed to fit the $5 price tag. I have a feeling their broth can be even better if they wanted to. If we do a prawn noodle series, I'm coming back here. And then next, Sab Mananti. Very average. And you rarely ever hear this on this channel. I think overpriced. You all know that I'm a huge advocate for paying more for hawker food that is more effortful. I've been saying it about laksa, I've been saying it about Hokkien Mee. But considering the ingredients of Mee Siam and Lontong and the quality of it, I think $6 is a little high. I would really have wanted to try the Nasi Padang instead. I mean, it's in the name. But we follow who we follow this series. And then lastly, Guao Soon, also very expensive. 2 dishes and 1 dessert, close to $100. But the quality is there, I wanna say. Both the chicken and the fish, the flavor profiles, really on point, comparable with the ones in Malacca even, but super steep with the price. That's it, it's time for the verdict. 1 plate I'll walk for the dish, 2 plates I'll take a bus for the dish, and 3 plates I'll go anywhere in Singapore for the dish. And today's food trail is 312. Predictable, I would say. The one plate deducted from Guao Soon is because it feels so unsatisfying to eat Ayam Buah Keluak without the Buah Keluak. I think this is the first time I've had Buah Keluak like this. But yeah, 312. And that's it. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If this is your first time on this channel, you can leave now. I need to speak with the regulars for a bit. Please, if you know of any celebrity and where they dine at in Singapore, please let me know. I'm hoping one of you was Lin Junjie's ex-schoolmate or Lee Kuan Yew's former assistant, or perhaps worked in some sort of diplomatic foreign relations where you had to host royalty. This kind of info is super hard to research, so I really need your help on this. But for now, that's all I have for you guys this time. I'll see you on the next video.